I wanted to preface this and with the opportunity that 2024 and choose and write this down. 2024 is going to be the year of awareness. It's the year of awareness. And the challenge or the opportunity that we have in our markets is that we think more people remember what we do than they do. Everyone's busy, everyone's going in their lives. And if we're not actively and purposefully bringing value into our community through social media, through connections, through contacts, we just don't stay top of mind. And it's not their fault. It's whose responsibility? It's ours. It's ours. And I've heard it. I've heard all of it. Well, I just, I don't like to do videos. I sound weird. I look weird. It's what you sound and what you look like, unfortunately. So for you, it's weird. For everybody else, it's the way you are. So like we could just get over that. And then the thing is, well, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to talk about. At the end of the day, you bring value through your unique perspective. If you're just posting and ghosting, if you're just memeing and running, you're not actually being social. You're being spammy. It's called social media, not spam-a-lot media. And it requires engagement. And engagement means conversation. It means commenting back, responding, posting, messaging people directly, bringing a unique perspective to the information. Because everyone out there is a little concerned, confused, and scared because they're listening to media, they're listening to pundits, they're listening to fear-based news, which causes clicks, which causes attention. And yet, what's best for them may be right on the other side of the rhetoric that is going to be unlocked through your unique perspective. And the barrier to that oftentimes is our own fears, our own limiting beliefs, and the way that we see ourselves before we go into social media. And some of you may have jumped on this call because the title is like, that's actually me. I am socially awkward, like in real life and otherwise. And today's the day where you get to tap into that as your superpower. So we're going to talk about how to use the way you are, however you want to label it. I'm not going to say you're awkward. I'm going to say you're perfect. And how to put that out there in a way that's authentic, it's powerful, and you get to bring your unique perspective to the market. And there's no one else better to do that. Not because she's super socially awkward.
No, I am.
But she's super passionate about this conversation. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to go. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to be in here in the background. I'm going to be taking notes. And Michelle, take it away.
Yeah, I'm going to try to share my screen here. I just got a new MacBook, so the timing of all this is perfect. Can you guys see my screen there? All right, cool. Let me... Oh, there's a button there. All right. Okay, so today we want to talk about, I just titled it Socially Awkward because I think, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes posting on social media can feel really awkward, especially when you haven't been doing it in a consistent manner. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the things that I've learned over the past few years. I've done several different coaching programs on social media and how to incorporate social media into my real estate business, but in a little different way than a lot of people tend to think you should do it. So I wanted to bring what I learned to you guys. Just to kind of start out with, and maybe you can just type it in the chat. How many of you guys are active on Facebook? So you're using Facebook on a daily, weekly basis. Actually, and of those of you that are active on Facebook, how many of you are actually posting on your personal page more than your business page? So we're going to kind of break this down today. What I am going to really focus on is the personal page, not the business side. So how to actually generate business and use your personal page to build relationships with your clients in your sphere. Kind of think of it, break it down into two pieces. Your business page is what gives you credibility. Really, anymore, you can almost have a Facebook page be your website, right? And so we kind of think of it from that way. It's where you put your reviews, your You do your videos on your market expertise, your listings, etc. But this is really kind of just giving you credibility, like you're the realtor. There's some reviews, there's some things here, but that's not where you're really going to build the relationships. The relationships are going to happen on your personal page. You are guiding people to help them know and understand you, and sprinkling in that you do real estate along the way without being salesy and cheesy. So we're going to quickly go over this. I'm sure a lot of you understand this, but the algorithm, the infamous algorithm. So I think a lot of people believe there's just this one algorithm, right? But in reality, it's many different algorithms. I think of it as like these little ninjas that are looking at everything that you do and trying to put everything together. So they are monitoring what you're looking at, what you're liking, how long you're watching videos, just every aspect of what you're doing, and then custom crafting an experience for you on Facebook. So the goal is to keep you on the platform. They want to show you the things that are going to keep you on the platform. If you understand that, then you can kind of understand how to tap into getting your people to see your content. I also like to think of Facebook as a matchmaker. So not like we're matchmaking in terms of dating. I know some of that does happen on Facebook, but really they're more of a matchmaker in terms of trying to match you with the content that you're going to consume. At the end of the day, Facebook is a business and they're trying to keep you on the platform, because the longer they keep you on the platform, the more money they make, right? People run ads on the platform. There's all kinds of different revenue streams through Facebook. And if people aren't on Facebook and they're not on Facebook a lot, they're not making money. So what are some of the keys to success in terms of posting, things you should do? This is really obvious, and I'm just going to go through it really quick, but the high quality, make sure you don't have blurry pictures, your video quality is good, and your audio quality is good. No one's going to watch your video if they can't hear you, or if the audio doesn't sound good. And the really big thing is original content. I know there's a lot of people out there that sell all of these templates that you can buy, and you can repost pictures and those kind of things, and those can serve a purpose. But Facebook really rewards you for posting original content. So if you're going to repost something that someone has, I will kind of use it more as a guide. It's kind of like, honestly, using AI, right? If you're using AI to write your listing descriptions, you're not typically using exactly word for word the output of AI. You're usually using it as a guide. I think of that as well. Like if you're seeing content that you resonate with and you want to reuse, don't copy it and paste it, make it your own. Go find something on Canva that's similar in terms of an image, or go reword the verbiage, because Facebook really rewards you for posting original content. They don't show many people when you're posting something that the algorithm has seen many times in many other people's feeds. And then mix it up. You have to do a variety of types of posts. You can't just do text or pictures. You've got to mix it up. If you guys aren't comfortable with video, there are so many ways to do what they call faceless videos, where, you're walking and just showing the scene ahead of you, and then, putting in like 5 things to consider when you're buying a new home and having those pop across the scene. So if you're not comfortable with video and putting your face in front of people right now, start with the faceless videos. It's a way to at least get your content out there. Video always tends to get better responses than pictures and text. And but you need to mix it up. I'm surprised, actually. Sometimes I can just put a text, post out there, and it will get some response as well. I built my so like 2 years ago, I think I had less than 1,000 friends, and I switched over to a professional profile, and I built my following off of reels. Like my following jumped a ton off of just posting reels. So I think there's a lot of opportunity out there to, if you're looking for more people, to get more people to follow you, that the reels and the video is a really great way to do that. And consistency matters. So you can't just post once a week or once a month and think that you're going to get a lot of interaction and engagement. You need to be posting every single day. The coaching course that I followed is from a realtor in California who gets over 100 referrals from Facebook alone every year. And she recommends posting 10 stories a day. 10 stories a day, one post a day, one reel a day. So it's pretty, you'll play around with it and test and figure out what works for you. But you have to remember that only a small percentage of your friends and followers see what you post. I mean, it could be as small as 4% of the people see what you post. So if you're posting massive amounts of content every day, unless someone is actually following you regularly, they're probably only seeing a 10th of that or 20th of that. They're not seeing every single thing you're posting. So you're not going to annoy everybody in your feed if you're posting consistently. And Facebook, the algorithm rewards you. So the more content you put out, the more reward you get. Now, you got to be careful. I'm not saying go post 100 pieces of content a day. You don't want to be too much. There's the delicate balance there, but the more you do post, the more you do get rewarded by the algorithm. And then this is the thing we talk about today, being authentic. I think one of the biggest compliments I've gotten from many people is that I'm the same in real life as I am on social media. And I want you guys, as you're going through and making your posts, to think, who would your ideal client be? And we'll talk about this a little bit more here in a minute, but who would your ideal client be and what would you want? How would you act around them? Would you want to meet someone that was totally different than what you had experienced when you saw them on Facebook? And I get a lot of people too that I've done this to people too, where you walk up to someone and you act like you know them really well because you kind of met them on Facebook and you've been following them and you've never met them in person and you forget that and you go up and you're like, oh hi, and then you're like, oh, they don't even know who I am. But I've had that where I've met people who are completely different than they are on Facebook, and I'm just so turned off by that. I just really don't want to be friends with them on Facebook anymore either, because that's not who they are in real life. So I think there's a lot to be said about being authentic, and you kind of find your tribe and you find your people. Not everybody's going to like you. That's okay. You don't want to work with every type of client either. So you're going to find your people, the people that resonate well with you, and you can, just kind of find your tribe. And the big thing is, if you're authentic, you are helping people understand who you are and know, like, and trust you before they ever meet you, right? So how many of you guys love referrals from other people? Because when you get a referral, you don't have to work to make those people like you and trust you. Someone else has already talked you up so much that they're like, we already know we love her because so-and-so loved her and told us to go use her. That's kind of the same thing with clients who come to you off of Facebook. They already know you, like you, and trust you. A lot of these people have been following you for a while. And so they feel like they know you already. So if you're different when they meet you than you are on Facebook, that's probably going to turn them off as well. So use it as a tool to just really be yourself, have fun with it, enjoy what you're putting out there. And I think you'll find that you'll reap results from that. You got 4 goals when you're posting. You want to either entertain people, educate people, inspire, or encourage or promote your audience. This is not encouraging and promoting yourself. This is helping them, encourage and promoting them to take a step or to do something good in their life. So entertaining, educating, inspiring, and encouraging. I think, unfortunately, you see a lot of Facebook posts that are self-promoting. And I think it's just a matter of how people have been trained. But you see a lot of, look, I sold this. Look at my just listed, just sold. And it's more about you than it is about the client that you've listed it for, or how you can help your audience in a situation like that. So as you're posting, think of your ideal audience and how you could help them. Instead of saying just sold, tell a story. I had an assumption that lasted almost a year before it closed, and it was the most difficult transaction that I've probably ever had. And so instead of saying just sold, I showed a picture and told a story of this long process and how frustrating that assumption process was and how bad I felt for my seller and how happy I was that we got to the finish line. That was a lot more like a way for my audience to connect with me than if I would have just put a picture and said, look, just sold. So there are ways to show your audience that you're in real estate without, I like to say, barfing real estate all over them. And as you're making your posts, you really have to think about who is the avatar of the client that you want to attract. So figure out who your ideal client is, what they look like, and then create content with them in mind, right? If you're, just a terrible example, but if you're a staunch Republican and most of your clients are Democrats, you probably don't want to be putting political content out there, right? So figure out what is your ideal client that you want to work with and keep them in mind as you're putting content out. And then you need to take an audit of who you're currently following and engaging with, because who you are following and engaging with is also seeing your stuff. So part of that algorithm is it's looking at who's connecting. This is a relationship platform. It wants to build relationships and have conversations. And so it's looking at who you're communicating with the most. So if you're really engaging with people that aren't your typical avatar, you could actually be hurting yourself instead of helping yourself. So if you want to break up with those people, kind of passive aggressively and not let them know, you can tap on the 3 dots on their name and go down to unfollow. And you can do the same thing with ads. You can hide ads. So this is going to remove content and kind of retrain that algorithm to the things that you want to see and the people that you want to see.
This tip has saved me countless relationships.
Yes.
Just being able to snooze. And we're about to come into that season. It's already beginning. That season of people are putting some things out there that you're like, oh, like chill for a second. Just snooze them for a minute.
And you can go back out and check in on them on your terms.
Yeah.
I have family members that I don't follow, and I go out there and I check in on their page every once in a while to see what's up when I'm mentally in the right space to be able to put up with their posts. But I don't want it popping up out of nowhere. And then as you're wanting to attract kind of more people that you want in your feed, I have a daily high 5. So you're going to go through your friends and followers list, and you're going to find 5 people that you don't engage with or haven't really seen in your feed. And you're going to go in their feed or in their stories or whatever, and you're going to interact in a meaningful way. If you're interacting on their posts, love is better than like, pretty much any other emotion is better than the thumbs up. Use one of those and then comment. And your comment needs to be 5 or more words, and it needs to be meaningful. Don't just make up something that doesn't make sense, or, but 5 or more words kind of engages in that conversation. Maybe ask a question, something that makes sense and doesn't seem odd. Or reply to stories. Stories are the best way to get into someone's DM, and Facebook looks at that and says, if you're having private conversations outside of the feed, they're like, yes, these people like each other. We're going to show each other more of their content. Do this before you make your posts for the day so that these 5 people will now see your posts. And then birthdays. I kind of do a mix depending on who it is. I'll do some posts on their feed, and I'll do some posts where I go directly to them in direct messenger and tell them happy birthday. It depends on how close I am to them and how I want them to be engaging in my feed as well. So don't always just tap in happy birthday and put it on their actual feed. Go into their messenger and type in happy birthday. Go check out what they've been up to. Happy birthday. Oh my gosh, I saw you got a new dog. He is adorable. Go in there and have some conversation with them as well.
May I add just 2 little bonuses
You
to that?
do.
Awesome. So Facebook will tell you whose birthday it is and then whose birthday it is tomorrow. Go into tomorrow's birthdays, go into the messenger, and I do a quick little video, a 30-second video on Messenger, and I say, hey, Michelle, listen, I know tomorrow is going to be super busy on your feed. You're going to have a ton of love, a ton of messages, and I just wanted to take a second to wish you a happy birthday early. Have the best day. Tomorrow we celebrate you. Make it amazing. Great to see you. Love following all your stuff. Take care. And then that's it. That's the video. That's the message. And it's early, it's appropriate, and it's super personal. I've had several people post that video and say something to the effect of like, all you losers just posted on my wall. Why aren't any more people doing this? Like it was funny whenever he did it that way, but it's you really want to stand out and make an impact. It's one of the easiest ways to do it.
Yes, for sure. Great tip. Oh, and don't post and ghost. This is my most, this annoys me so badly when people post and comment. They take the time to comment on your page and then you don't comment back. I try more often than not to actually comment back and not just like or love their comment, but try to engage with them. Engage, I see that you're having a conversation back and forth. Again, you're trying to tell that algorithm, I want to have a relationship with this people. I want them to be in my feed. I want them to see my stuff. So engage, don't post and ghost, and love more than you like, because that like button just doesn't do it when it comes to the algorithm and ranking things up. And remember, it's not about the likes, right? I get caught up in this all the time, right? I think it's an ego thing. It's like you're going back to high school and you're like, why didn't anybody like my post? Was it that bad? Does nobody like me? Sometimes you just have to get out of your head and realize, A, you're going to throw duds sometimes. That's just part of posting on social media. Sometimes it is that you just put out crappy content that people don't like. And sometimes it's just the time of day, or the picture you used, whatever. So you're going to throw out some duds. Just don't, I highly recommend not actually going and looking at your content in terms of trying to follow the likes and all that until like a week later. And when you're kind of examining to see what was a good post and what wasn't, what got the interaction when you're doing your analysis, but don't do it on an hourly or daily basis. And stay curious. What was it? Was it the time of day possibly that caused it not to take off? Was it the type of content you had? Did you do text and maybe you should have done a video? Or did you have an inconsistent message that was just really inconsistent with what you typically post on your page? And remember, people are watching. I have a lot of people that come up to me locally that are like, I love watching your videos. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, you never hit like, you never let me know you're on there. Like, give a girl a little help here. But I get that all the time from people that I'm like, I had no idea they were watching. So even if they're not liking and commenting, people are watching. And I don't know, are we getting close on time, Matt?
We are. So let's pause right here real quick. So go ahead and stop the share. How much more do we have here just moving forward, just so we know?
I don't think we have a ton.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to continue this conversation Friday, and we're going to get through whatever content Michelle has there. And then if we spend the rest of the time on Friday going over some questions and some best practices, and then raise your hand or throw a little thumbs up in the chat if Michelle was willing to put together maybe like a 60 to 90-minute workshop on how she technically and tactically puts together some posts, how she records, how she edits, where does the captions come from, where she get her ideas, etc. Is that something you'd like to attend? And it would be at no cost, obviously. We're just going to be creating value. Is it something that you'd like to go and possibly get some tips on, and spend a little bit more time into the granular parts from it? Yeah, we got thumbs up from Rochelle, etc. Perfect. Because it's really difficult to put in like value and like education in a 20-minute presentation, right? So let's just be fair with that. We wanted to present you with some really good tips, high level, and then if anyone's got interest, we're going to take this off into more of a workshop. And so we've got everybody that's here. We're going to continue the conversation Friday. So if you're here and this was value, come Friday. And if there's somebody that isn't here that should have been here that invite them, bring them with you. It's the same link, ctccall.com. It's open for all. Come, we're going to hang out, talk a little bit more about socially awkward social, and then we're going to answer your questions and get into the nitty gritty. And then by that time, we'll have an idea of when we can put that workshop together for you guys. Hey, I appreciate every single one that's on this call. For those that I haven't seen in a while that are here for the first time, welcome. And if we haven't met before, hey, welcome. Welcome to the Cool Kids Club. You're invited. You have a pass. So continue to join, and we're going to keep raising the bar and elevating the conversation. And today was your conversation that converts. Take care. We'll see you Friday.